Flat Earth British subscriber channel, Lee speaking. It's a vanavlog. Again, I've got too much to say. So much so that I don't know where to start. And so I just don't even try. I just switch on the camera when I've got some time and just give it a go, you know? Just see what happens. I might not speak for about 10 minutes, I don't know, so, you know. Gotta have a piss or something, I don't know. I mean, it's biodegradable. If I throw it out, it's not really littering, is it? You know? I mean, if you was in a fucking jumbo jet and, I don't know, something fucking happened and the window blew out and you had a banana skin on your table and it flew out the window, you know, is that litter? Can you get done for that? Stupid rules. I did make an attempt to stop being a miserable bastard, and I've just been too busy to try. So I haven't failed, I haven't succeeded, but mostly I think it's been 2 weeks since I've done a vanavlog, and I was just too busy last week and the week before that. But last week, Tuesday, yeah, last week I was just fucking angry, very, very angry, because things are starting to come together. Been watching a lot of Martin's vlogs the last couple of weeks. He's been knocking quite a few out, and they've just been brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But he just brought home a couple of truths to me that made me very, very angry. And you know, I wanted to talk about it, but then if I get too angry, I can't talk. Because I just get angry. Where to start? Time has been very strange lately. I know it's kind of around that time in England anyway, where they fuck about with the clock. But aside from that, fucking just weird shit, man. Just fucking weird shit. Now, where I live, I've been there for about 10 years, and because I only rent, I can't smoke in the house, and so I have to sort of like go outside in the garden. I'm doing that for like 10 years. It'll be 10 years this year, apparently, if time existed. And I watched the path of the sun and the moon all the time, because I spend about, for the amount of time that I do spend at home when I'm not fucking working, about, I'd say, a third of that time that I'm at home, I'm somehow out in the garden chugging away on the smoke. So day or night, I watch the birds, flying birds, and I watch the sky, watch the chemtrails. There seems to be a pattern that generally, but not exclusively, on a Sunday, the same flight paths go past my house. They don't chemtrail. Any other day of the week, they do. You just notice these things after 10 years. And what I've noticed last couple of weeks is it's fucking mad. The moon's gone fucking ape shit. It's like on its own fucking speed. Like different nights it's there, it's not there. It's kind of like northwest at a particular time. Next day it's not there. And then for a few days it is there. And then it's southwest. I'm like, oh, it's a bit weird. Or maybe I haven't paid attention to the moon particularly for 10 years. But definitely the sun. Because I got a north-south facing house. And so it seldom sees the sun. And so, apart from midsummer, the garden is just dank, man. It's just fucking dank and boggy. And so, day after day, I kind of like see when the sun's beginning to hit the garden through the months. It's April now, and it's already hitting the fucking garden. That shouldn't happen till like the end of June. What the fuck's going on? What the fuck is going on? So that's that. I also recently saw a little clip that just mentioned that since the 1980s, apparently time has been speeding up. Never heard of that before. I can relate to that though, because I'm like in my 50s. But by my own experience, I should only be in my 40s. Or late 30s. So fuck knows exactly how that's going on. Oh, fucking weird, man. Strange. I don't know what it means. I don't know if it makes any difference. I don't really care. But yeah, something's going on. Something's going on with time at the moment, that's for sure. But that wasn't the thing that's been making me angry. I'll tell you. And if you don't start getting angry, there must be something wrong with you. So I mentioned a few years ago that the First World War, it was it signalled the end of a great plan. And under the guise of World War, people and resources and lots of other things just were moved out. So Martin's been doing the San Francisco Great Fire and all that lot, late 1800s. I don't remember the exact date. But anyway, during the 1800s, he's shown enough videos, if you've watched them, and what you've got is arrivals, people arriving across the whole world, people arriving into cities where there aren't any people, digging the fucking mud out of these cities all over the world, at the same time. And all of these cities were empty before they arrived. And you can see that when they took pictures. They all came from somewhere. And it's not too much of a stretch of the imagination to say that they arrived by sea. So it's the 1800s. They arrived from God knows where. They set to work in all the cities of the world to dig the place up, to make the cities habitable, to strip and remove any kind of historical pointers or information about the previous occupants. And of course we know about Antiquitech, and so all of the buildings that we know housed Antiquitech, they removed the Antiquitech, they hid it. No doubt put it on the same fucking boats that they arrived in. It's not just America, it's not just Britain, it's not just Rome, Italy, you know, it's India, it's China, it's Africa, you name it. The whole world was stripped of its history by these motherfuckers. And in one way or another, whether it was through reproducing or fucking cloning or whatever technology it was, they repopulated the whole earth. And raised them with lies, lying to them, giving them a false history, giving them no explanation whatsoever. And removing all hope of any kind of like self-identity for that next generation. Deceit and lies. Now, I'm allegedly in my 50s, so that would mean my great-grandparents, they were part of it. If they were born in the 1800s, they were part of it. And what about, you know, that generation that one way or another they spawned? They would have seen what was going on. You know, they would have seen what's going on, all of the fucking digging all over the world. You know, the stripping of plaques and all manner of identification all over the world. Removing it all. They would have seen it. You know, they would have seen, you know, they would have had huge machinery to be able to remove all of the antiquity out of buildings. It's a feat of engineering that boggles my brain that they were able to do that. Even in 200 years' time. And you think, oh, we'll be so advanced in 200 years' time. A worldwide thing to do something like that, really? Even in 200 years' time, is that really possible? It's just mind-boggling what they did. So, if the instigators were my great-great-grandparents, then my great-grandparents would have seen it. So then, why didn't they pass on what they saw to my grandparents? Why did they not tell my parents? It's horrifying. It's horrifying what's happened. What they did. You know, even if they did it for what they considered to be a good reason, it's not their right. not their right, wasn't their right to do that, to deprive us of our true history. And as I've said many times before, if you had a different history, would you still be the same person you are today? And of course the answer is no. And if you was given a fake history, would you have the potential to become the person that you could be? And the answer is no. And that's what's been done to us. And it's as clear as day. And that's why I'm really fucked off about it. Because it's not just me, it's you. It's you. Now, depending on your age, your great-great-great-great-grandparents, great-great-great, or great-great, or great. They fucking knew. They was all part of it. It's not that long ago. The scale, the logistics. Where the fuck is all the equipment gone to achieve something like that? So, all those motherfuckers that are all part of that plan and made it happen, they're cunts. And that's just, I don't know, common man, common mankind. Yeah. But then you've got authorities, kings, lords. They were all part of it. They knew all about it. I'll have to stop talking about this pretty soon. I'm starting to get so angry. And the fucking cherry on top of the cream fucking cake is religion. Churches. Yeah? Your fucking popes, your fucking bishops, your fucking fuck knows what. Religion. Going into these antiquity fucking buildings and saying like, oh yeah, this is a church. It's a house of worship for God. And our great-great-great-great-grandparents all fucking played along with it. They all knew it was fucking bollocks. They saw all the shit being fucking stripped out of these fucking churches. They just fucking played along with it. And then their children and their children, they're saying, oh yeah, it's a holy place. God's here, fucking just standing behind the altar, just there. You know? It's shocking. It's shocking. I don't think I could conceive, apart from complete obliteration, of a worse thing to happen to humanity than what they did to us. Born into ignorance and a world of lies. I can't talk about it anymore. I need to calm down. in last week. I was just counting how many explanations for the meaning of life that I know. I think it's about 6 or 7. Some of them pertain to this reality that we're currently in when I'm talking and you're listening. And the other realities that are simultaneously, not simultaneously, hold on, are they simultaneous? Hold on. No, we are, no, hold on, no, hold on, it's, in this, no, it's us that are simultaneously in the collation of realities. It's not that the other realities are simultaneously happening. Hold on. I can't say that word. Maybe it doesn't exist here. Anyway, I just mean that it's us. Flittering between these realities, collation of realities. Flittering. Yeah, flittering. It's us that's flittering. Oh, I just went off on a tangent there, I got lost. Bollocks. Yeah, and as I personally flitter amongst them, there are different possibilities of life, the explanation of life. Some work here, some don't, but depending where I am, they do or they don't, if that makes any sense to you. Anyway, and then you've got other dimensions, I think. But anyway, what I was thinking, so I think it's about 6 or 7 I counted. I'll try to recount them if I can. If one of them was correct, and then you said, oh my gosh, you just come out with the fucking meaning of life, what would you do with it? Exactly. What would you do? You know, everything's been hidden from you. Your whole life is a lie. But suddenly you found out the truth. Then what? What would you do? I was pondering that question. You know? And then I thought, well, does it matter if you know the truth? Because what can you do about it? You know? I mean, that was just a question. It wasn't conclusive. Because then I thought, well, it depends what the answer is. Because there might be something you could do if the answer was something that you could do something about. That went alright. Like, it's like fritter is to throw away, isn't it? Flittering. It's like flitter in this reality. There are consistencies. A house is always a fucking house, whichever one you're in. A tree's always a tree. Grass is like the sky. Fucking cars. You know, there's no I was going to say there's no bending of time, but at the same time, I'm only in my 40s, but here I'm in my 50s. You know. So I suppose there's subtle bends of time. Bring it back. But so what I've been saying so far about our reality here, mud flood, 1800s, it's all true, and that's consistent through all the places I flitter through. It's consistently the same. In some of those places, what I say is very, very important. In other places, you might as well just be talking about dog shit on the fucking road. It just doesn't mean anything to anybody. Nobody gives a fuck, you know. But this place, everyone that should know does not know. And in this place, I think it's important, and so that's why I'm saying it here. And so what that means in your world, in this world, there is a place full of antiquity and everything of the ancients, all of their technology. It's on the earth, whatever shape you want it to be. You know? But it's all here. It's all hidden from you. It's somewhere. I don't know where, you know, but it's here. Whether you think beyond the Antarctic wall, or you think it's at the North Pole, it's somewhere. It's somewhere. And there's a whole nation of people guarding it. So when you go to the, where was it? Where was I? Arras in France. I'm not very good with history, guys. All I know is what Martin's taught me. And I've never liked history. I think it was the First World War, Arras, or was it the Second World War? I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I went to a war memorial anyway, in Arras. I don't know if it was the Second World War or the First World War. Anyway, I don't need to be exact here. I just want to make a point. And there were just walls and walls and walls and walls of names of people that apparently died. And there were thousands and thousands and thousands of names. And I'll be honest with you, I got choked up. And I had to leave. Because just the thought of so many people dying in a horrible way was just too much for me at that time, about 3-4 years ago now, I think. And the point is, and I'm sure there's memorials all across the world, in every city, in every nation, with hundreds of thousands of names that were declared missing or dead in action in the First World War. Are they dead? Missing? Probably. Dead? I don't think so. I think to where they went under the guise of battle and death, they went to where they're storing all the antiquitech and all of the machinery that they used. And am I to believe that they didn't, what's the word? Procreate. But they didn't have, they didn't go to this place with all the antiquitech and didn't have kids, didn't populate. But there's no doubt about it. There is a nation of people on earth that know everything, and they've got the technology. And all the world government here in the known world are all in cahoots. They all know. They're all working together to keep the lie, to maintain the lie. It can't not be true, what I'm saying. It can't not be true. We walk amongst the evidence every day with mud flood. I've shown you thousands upon thousands of images. Or might you decide vlogs or my 100 images vlogs and Martin. At least 10 years of doing vlogs for 1 to 3 hours. showing you the inescapable truth about the world that we live in, and how nothing makes sense, and everything. You know, you can disagree with me, but then fine. What's your explanation? What's your explanation? But sadly, for us, they have all the technology. I think that they have the possibility to just exist. I can't say forever, but a fucking long time. Quite easily hundreds and hundreds of years. And all that technology that they stripped from the world, they maintained it, improved upon it. That's one explanation about life. And if it's true, what are you going to do about it? And does it matter? Does it matter? Does it matter if there's nothing you can do about it? Or now that you know, is there something you can do about it? If there is, let me know. I'd like to know. I was I have to be careful how I say this. I'm a fan of Wise Up, the channel Wise Up. Fan, absolute fan. And but he niggles me with this whole thing about Noah's flood. Not he niggles me. What he says, the thing about Noah's flood, it niggles at me because I think they were supposed to be, according to the Bible, somewhere along the lines of about 8,000 years ago, or 6,000 years ago. And then he talks about the flood itself, and he talks about volcanoes exploding as well while there was a flood going on. And so you got places like Petra. I'm not allowed to say melted, but in Petra you've got buildings that have the appearance and rock as well that has the appearance of being melted. But apparently it's not melted. But the thing about it is if you look up Petra on the internet, images, you generally get this one spot. It's kind of like I think they call it a temple, and I mean there's other places as well, it's not just Petra, but the architecture is the same as architecture in America, like in Washington DC, or in London, or in Paris. The architecture is the same. So the thing is if the architecture that doesn't have the appearance of being melted is still standing today in other cities that aren't Petra, or I don't know, fucking Baalbek or whatever, does that mean that the ones that are still intact, like in London, that they're 8,000 to 10,000 years old? I don't think so. I mean, when you think of these kind of buildings in capital cities, how old do you think they are? 200 years? I mean, how long does it take for a building to become dilapidated to the point that it can't stand any longer, that it just falls down? 200 years? 500 years? 1,000 years? How long? How long until it just falls apart? Is there a building on Earth, to your knowledge, that is 5,000 years old? So don't get me wrong, I'm not having a go at Wise Up or anything. I love his work. It just niggles me, that particular thing. Perhaps I just don't understand. I don't know. But it gets my goat. The last vlog I uploaded, the one says if you're bored, and then there was one clip, levitation. Did you see that one? It's kind of like a glass box with holes in it. I don't know if levitation's the correct word, but you can imagine what I mean. As soon as I saw it, I just thought, my gosh, that looks like a church building. I say church. And then the whole thing about frequency, cymatics and all that. I just wonder if a lot of these antiquitech buildings were in some way at least being able to transport very heavy things, or enabling people to fly. You know, we're all kind of like itching to reverse engineer, you know, the housings of all of this antiquitech, trying to work out how it worked and what was in place that's been removed, with the hope that maybe we could replicate it and use it for ourselves. And the irony is, it already exists, hidden from us. And the nation of world government know. Anyway, that's enough for this place. So I read a comment today on one of my vlogs, one of my recent ones. What did it say? It said, God is everywhere, and because he's everywhere, it seems like he's not here. I've never heard that before. That was a good one. You know, it did wonders for my brain, me Brian. It did wonders. I was like, because I've always been of the opinion, why does God hide? Why is he always hiding? If he exists, why does he hide? And then this guy saying, like, he's not hiding, he's everywhere. But because he's everywhere, you can't see him. I mean, what a concept, you know. It was kind of similar, like when I was it bravery? I suppose it was. When I thought, is the earth flat? Can I get my head around it? Am I brave enough? Am I brave enough to believe, to contemplate an alternative explanation of everything I've ever been told about what life is? Yeah, I was brave enough to. Yeah, I was brave enough, you know. And as I said, I always think, why is he hiding all the time, or she, or it? Why? Why hide? And then that comment come up, and I thought, oh, I could just dismiss it, just say fucking idiot, and just carry on and ignore it. Or I thought, am I going to accept this? Am I going to take it on board? Am I brave enough? Am I brave enough? Have I got the courage to actually think about that? Because it contradicts everything that I think. And I did. Hasn't done me any harm. I suppose that's where the saying hidden in plain sight comes from. I don't know. It's good to use my brain to work around it. It's not doing me any harm. I still can't see a God anywhere. I've got to tell you this. It's not really important, but I suppose it's the last year. The whole thing about AI has come up. I've kind of concluded that AI is just a calculator, but it doesn't just calculate numbers. It calculates words. It's all it is. And I have delved just to see if indeed there is kind of like some kind of sentient intelligence in AI. And no, it's nothing now. Just nothing now. And a lot of the questions that I've asked, the answers that it's given are human answers. I've recognised concepts that people have said in the past or written about, and this AI calculator has simply just accessed that information and then put it with another bit of human information, from paper book to digital, you know. So like, for example, if you've got like 10,000 books in the Vatican Library that have never been digitised, AI will never be able to give you any information about those books because it hasn't been digitised. Which means then, if you don't have all of the information, then whatever AI tells you, it's not going to be the truth, is it? Because you need all information, and it doesn't have it. So, you know, take it with a pinch of salt, as they say. Yeah, it's just a calculator. It's just a calculator. That's it. It just calculates human knowledge. And if you've got false information in there, like history, world history, as we've been taught, how accurate is AI going to be? It will accurately lie for you, to you, if it was a sentient thing. It's just a calculator. And it's something very handy for those that are in power over us. What the time is? to 4. Time's really fucking with me at the moment. Like this morning. Yeah, this morning my wife left for work a bit late. At 5:45. She normally leaves earlier than that. So I'm in bed. I hear her closing the front door. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, I don't want to get up. I got up, had a shower, got into my van. An hour's passed. And I'm like, it's fucking 20 minutes. 20 minutes since she left. Fucking hour's gone. Maybe I'm just in the wrong fucking place at the moment. I've flitted to a wrong place. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think in this reality of realities, there's one anchor point in them. And I'm just wondering if the one that I died in, I told you about, about a year and a half ago, and then afterwards I was saying like, fucking hell, everything's weird, everything's changed but looks the same. I don't know. Maybe I can't get back to that place. I mean, I just don't know what fucking place I'm going to wake up in every morning. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, honestly, my life now, it doesn't matter what happens during the day. It doesn't matter what happens. Because I know the following day, things just are not going to be the same. People are not going to be the same. I mean, for me now, people don't hold grudges anymore. I mean, they used to, if I say before I died, people used to hold grudges for fucking years. But the place, but me, it's kind of like, people don't. They just change like that, fucking overnight. You know. I'll be honest with you, it's quite unsettling for me, life at the moment, because I don't fucking know which way to turn. I mean, in a way, I'm kind of a bit more fucking chilled out, because I'm like, well, there's not really any consequences for my actions anymore. And what seems important today won't be important tomorrow, or maybe next week. It's fucking weird, man. I can't pull up any other explanations for life at the moment. If I asked you a couple, if you started to explain them to me, I could stop you and finish it off, because I know what you was going to say. The fact that I can't remember them right now is irrelevant. The fact is that I do know that there are many But again, if any one of those were the explanation, what could you do about it? Orange. Just gonna have an orange because it might fucking reboot my brain or something. It's hard to focus. There's just so many things. There's a movie came out a couple of years ago. It's like a Chinese movie. I can't remember the phrase. Oh, I could look it up. Hold on. Crazy sci-fi Chinese movie. Something about anything. Is it that? Oh, no, done. No. Oh, everything, everywhere, all at once. Can you see that? Everything, everywhere, all at once. I can tell you that that concept is not from this place. It's from another dimension. You couldn't come up with that idea unless you knew about other dimensions. It's about 6 or 7. Six, 7 or 8. I was going to do a vanavlog about them, but then fucking everything went to fucking shit. And I never did it. And then, because everything was so shit, it just fucking, I don't know. It's like, it's like I'm a Slim Jim, like a glass. Slim Jim. Empty. And so long as it's empty, I'm free. To gather. perceive, not gather. Perceive other dimensions. But I keep getting filled up with shit in this reality, and then my view is restricted. I go blind, you know, I go blind. But I was thinking about, I was trying to focus. Last night I was just having a fag, sorry, I smoked out back garden, and I thought, oh, I really need to remember at least one of them so I can talk about it. And I remembered one, so I just need to fucking aid myself here. Hold on. Looks like a fucking alien. No, this is a fucking... This doesn't fucking look right. Okay. So if you thought of space, space, no stars. Okay, so hold that thought, and then two things. Do you remember in the 1990s, for fuck's sake, did I turn it off? Oh, I'm not fucking logging in again. In the 1990s, I don't know how they do it, maybe it's fucking lasers or something, I'm not sure. But they used to have like a glass cube, and then inside, just glass, just not an empty fucking glass cube. It's a cube of glass, transparent, you can see all the way through it, and then somehow they have etched something in the middle of it. The most common one is the Eiffel Tower. So if you go to, and you've got fucking key rings with them now. Like if you go to London or fucking Paris or I don't know, Washington, they do these little glass cubes, and then inside you've got like something, you know, some antiquitech thing, whatever. It's like, I don't know how they do it. I'm just guessing they etch it with lasers or something. I don't know how they do it. Right, so hold that thought. And then you've got the Superman movie with you've got the bad guy, not Lex Luthor, the Krypton guy, Zorg? No, Org? Whatever. And he's got two accomplices, and they get trapped in a rectangular shard of glass, cast off into space. Have you seen that? So anyway, there is a dimension so you've got blackness, and then you've got what looks like a pane of glass, and then it looks fucking ridiculous in this place. I'm not fucking showing you this picture. I'm fucking ashamed of it. It's so bad. And if you think of the shape of a diamond, think of the shape of a diamond, but make it flat and make it glass. So you've got a rectangular, and then you've got a diamond. In the middle, is something that looks human in a ghostly way. Luminous, transparent, could be male. and eyes. That's all I can remember of the eyes. I can't remember if there's a nose and a mouth. I don't think there was a nose. I got the impression there was a mouth, and the reason being is because it is an entire race, and they're all laughing at us, at humanity, at us, at everything that we do. It's hilarious. And I don't know if it's because they laugh so loud that the other dimensions know we exist through them, because of them laughing. But nevertheless, their amusement, hysterics of what we're doing, that it transports, it reaches those other dimensions. And those other dimensions don't know the other dimensions exist. They know that exists. Because however they communicate, I don't really get it, how all dimensions are just completely and utterly different. So I'm not really sure exactly. Yeah, so they don't do anything except laugh at us, and that's it. There's nothing more than that in that dimension. That's one of them. At least they're happy, I suppose. Shame I can't remember any others. I have to be brave to tell you stuff like this, because I know how it looks and how it sounds. I have to be brave. And I don't advocate hope, but I think I do hope that some of you that watch my vanavlogs have probably seen it and can relate to it, or maybe comment and give me a bit more information. You know, there's no such thing as time in these other dimensions. It doesn't exist, you know. This matter doesn't exist. Matter, physical form, time, movement, motion, just not a thing. chalk and cheese. And okay, let's get back to this place. I just wondered, did I mention about in my last vanavlog about skeletons? And catacombs. I'm sure I did. About how to physically exist for an extremely long period of time. There was a possible technology they had in the past, which was to completely strip you of all flesh down to the bone. And then store you dry, encased, so no organisms can get to you and eat away at your bones, and then be refleshed in some way. I don't know anything about that part of it. It's a kind of a human hibernation. Did I mention that? I can't remember. Yeah, if you take like a voltmeter and go down the Paris catacombs, pick a skeleton, stick a voltmeter on it, there's electricity in it. Part of my thinking about that, do you remember the movie Ghostbusters? And then you had that green ghosty monster in the library. Was it a library or hotel or something? With ectoplasm. And then one of the Ghostbusters, Dan Aykroyd, I think, gets what's the word? Oh, I forget the word now. He got splattered with ectoplasm. Can't remember the phrase he used. I kind of feel like that all this, yeah, it's just like slime. It's just like slime splattered onto a fucking skeleton, like a jellyfish. It's like this is all this is a separate entity to my skeleton. It's like that. I don't know enough about these things. It's just instinctual. I've done so much bloody admin today just so I can do this vanavlog. It's been intense all day. Schematics, digital schematics, questionnaires. Whew. Intense. Just so I can get a couple of hours to do a vanavlog. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, I mean, like now, because I mean, I know everyone's not a fan of TikTok. I just use it to my own ends. You know, I don't just simply expose myself to just any old shit on TikTok. I specifically, you can search, you know. So if you go on YouTube and you search fucking Great Pyramids of Giza or something, you know, type in it, you know. If you don't type anything else, and you've got a, you know, you get all kinds of shit come up on YouTube. It's fucking, you know, shit. Well, TikTok's the same. The only difference is TikTok is current. Now, like my channel, well, this one, I think it only goes back about 4 years or something. Martin goes back 10 years. No, maybe. I don't know. No, probably less now because he lost his other channel. You know, but TikTok's not like that. You don't have, you know, it's not like that. It's like what's happening today. You know, what's current today. And of course, you know, I look at things like mud flood and things like that. And I was quite surprised that everything flat earth British is now just fucking common knowledge across the world. Oh shit, I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh yeah. Yeah, but I mentioned it before, but you know, just repeating what we've said. Some ways better. No slight improvements here and there. But not at one point have I found the tipping point between the realisation of it all and the anger that should follow. It's just not there. I can't see it. I can't see it anywhere. Which is a bit odd. It's almost as if, well, you know, oh, it's only history. It's you know, oh, it's nice to know what the truth is. Oh, they've been lying to us. Oh, at least now we know it's a lie. But where's that transition between, where's the outrage? Are you not incensed? I mean, am I confusing this place with another place where people should get angry about things like this? Does that not happen here? Is that, you know? Excuse my stupidity for a moment, but if a fucking UFO fucking landed in America somewhere, like fucking Independence Day movie, and aliens dropped out and said like, hi, yeah, you know, we've been conversing with your president for a few years, and we've decided to sort of pop down and say hello. But the outrage, at least of the Americans in that situation, would be like, well, hold on, the president's known for a few years that there's life on other planets and aliens, and he didn't tell us. Why did they conceal it from us? Can you imagine the outrage? Well, that's fiction. But, you know, what I'm saying about our true history, it's not fiction. You can see it all around you. You can touch it with your hands. You can visit places. You can visualise St Paul's Cathedral, or whatever you like. It's all there before your very eyes. Is that... Is it not parallel the outrage that you should have? It's very consuming. I'd like to talk about other things, but you know, it's such a big thing that I'm talking about. It's hard not. It's difficult to talk about anything else. It is puzzling. I mean, how many people know what we've discovered on Flat Earth British across the world? 1 million? 3 million? And no one's got angry. Oh, it's just an idea. Um, because I don't think anybody has come out with this idea. It's just an idea. I mean, I'm not trying to attach it to anything or create a theory or apply it to anything. I just thought it was interesting to bend my brain round something. And I think one of Martin's recent vlogs, I think he was just hypothesizing or something. And he was just saying about the Earth being a globe in space, travelling at whatever speed, going through space, heading who exactly knows where. And then I just thought to myself, well, what if the globe isn't travelling, but it's space and everything else that's moving past, that the Earth as a globe is stationary, in fact. You know, like that, like when you're like sitting on a train at a station and there's a train on the other track and suddenly it starts moving and then you think, oh, I'm moving, but you're not. It's the other train moving. It's just a peripheral vision makes you think that you're moving. So what if the globe isn't moving at all? It's actually space. I'm not saying anything. I just thought it was an interesting thing to think about, to train your brain if your brain's there. Yeah, it was Martin's vlog on the First World War about all the trenching and everything. Yeah. Yeah, I think that was the trigger that got me angry. Just the sheer scale. Even up till then. What's that, 1912 to 1914? Or was it 1916? Even up till then. Do you remember that video I uploaded about a temple in China? And you got the Antiquitech on top, all lighting up and everything. And then that vlog that I uploaded recently, the if you're bored, and then I don't know, is it China? You got those temples with the earthquake all suddenly falling down. They're still erasing, you know, they're still erasing our history. Any hint that they can, you know, one way or another. And I work in South London, South East and South West and South, quite a lot now with this new job I have. And even the side streets, the houses, what you might call Victorian decoration around windows and doors, I suppose. They're slowly removing them, subtle, removing them, little by little, street by street. Section of houses on the street, remove all of the pretty, what do you call fascias? I don't know what you call them. They're doing it even now. You know, they haven't stopped. Something I thought about today. You know, it's my job. I go to all kinds of places, stately homes, mansions, Ministry of Defence places, historical buildings, grade 2 listed buildings, grade 1. For decades. I've always done the same job for decades. And at these places, you've always got like a host or spokesman for whatever for the building. And I forever ask the question, a hint about mud flood, but not too much. I don't want to give them a fucking aneurysm. But a common question I always ask is, when was this built? And it's always 1800s. It was built in 1835, 1850, 18 this, 18 that. And in south of London, all the streets and everything, all of the houses. When were the house built? Oh, 1900, 1901, 1890. And I'm like, well, driving around, looking around all day, visiting houses all day in my new job. And I'm thinking, well, if all of these houses that make up London, it's not just the capital, it's not just all, you know, like houses of parliament and stuff like that. It's not just those antiquitech buildings that make up London. It's domiciles, is that what you call it? Houses. That's what makes up London. It's houses. And I'm thinking, well, if all of these houses, the oldest that you get is the 1800s, what was here before? What was here before the 1800s? Were there no houses? Where did they all get their materials to build hundreds of thousands of houses? Where did they get the materials? Where did they get the money from? Why is everything fucking buried? It's just bullshit. It's constant bullshit. It doesn't even make any sense. If I flat out fucking interrogated somebody and said, you know, if you really thought about this, I mean, I just don't know what they would do. I think they'll have a fucking mental breakdown or something. I wish I could have a fucking mental breakdown. Yeah, so anyway, I don't know, maybe I'll just fucking stop this vanavlog now. But there is a place on earth that's hidden from us, and all the answers in this reality are there. And I think at the very least we need to find it. We need to find where it is and go there somehow. Or if not go there, send a fucking drone or something. Just, you know, they've got to be uncovered, you know. It's like the whole thing with the Phoenicians, that was the big secret. You know, it's a big secret. As long as you didn't guess their name and who they were, you know, everything continues. But as soon as we found out who they were, everything started falling apart. And it's going to be the same with this. We need to find out where they are. And given the whole kind of like seafaring culture to the system of lies that we're under, I can only assume that, you know, this place has got to be somewhere that you can only get to by boat. It's got to be. I mean, if anything, they're fucking consistent. They're definitely consistent. If they're governed by a law of secrecy, to beat them is to discover the secret. Then, you know, the principle of secrecy is as important to them as the principle of maritime life. So, and sailing. So it's got to be that way. I understand the, you know, the concept of, you know, the Phoenicians and their technology with the water and everything, and I've got my own suspicions about manipulating water to create anything. And so theoretically, they could be anywhere hidden in water. Whether it's water of the sky or water of the ocean, you know, I can see that, but they're consistent. Their consistency is to their own fault. And so even though they might have the possibility to hide in water, they won't. It'd have to be a boat. Like the Truman Show. How does he find the way out? By boat. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm going to go now.